Hello, everybody. Back here at Realnesss with Jojo and Chantele, live from Toronto. We are here to talk about the premiere episode of Survivor Season 44 and our experience last week, almost a week ago, at Bryce and Wen Present in Toronto at Craft Beer Market downtown, meeting all my faves, getting pictures with all my faves, hanging out and doing this all with my fave. Jojo, how are you doing today?
So good. Love and Live. Yeah, there it is. I have to say last Wednesday was incredible. 10 out of 10. So much fun. Way more fun than I even expected.
Way more.
Wow.
Like it was just like, I was just had such a good time. Like, I wanted to last longer. I didn't want it to end. Like, it was just like, I got to meet everybody that I've always ever wanted to meet. And it was really also interesting. People know who we are. We're just like, wait, no, we know who you are. Like, you hardly know who I am.
It was all a lot. Even like going to the after party. I'm like, yeah, let's go to the after. Okay, we're going to the after party. It's a Wednesday. I'm in bed by 11. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And you're like, I'm going to work tomorrow. I'm like, Jojo.
I had like severe bags. Like need a little
makeup.
A little brighten up. Yes.
So what would you say your highlight then? I know that all of it was a highlight, absolutely. But do you have a moment that stood out for you that like really got you excited?
That's tough. I mean, my one-on-one times were magical to the point where I was like, oh, are we friends?
Yeah, okay, that's something else. I'm like, are we just like realizing why they get cast these things because they have great personalities and like we want to hang out with them, or like did we really make these connections?
Yeah, I was shocked how many people were like, oh no, actually, yeah, do you want to have a conversation? I'm giving you this time, and yeah, let's do this together. Jatia.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, we're besties now, right?
We're obsessed with that woman. Obsessed with that woman. We went through her camera roll and like looking at her benign lymph nodes. I'm like, let me see your scars. Even, do you know who surprised me a lot?
Mm-hmm.
And who I really couldn't stand for the longest time?
Oh,
Big D.
Yes, he was lovely.
He was so sweet. Like I think he also puts on a bit of a persona, and yeah, of course he's a little bratty at times, but I really liked him, and
yes.
I was shocked that I was as like, oh, Big D, like, sorry, Derek, yeah, like 10 out of 10, really impressed with him. Could continue.
Well, do you know who I was most impressed by, I would say, and who I had a completely wrong read about? Who? Was Danny. I'm like, I love this guy. He's the sweetest, kindest, nicest. Like, yep. My read on him, and he actually says it in a secret scene that I recently watched, and he says that like, yeah, I kind of look like I'm on like the 5th season of like American Pie, and then also bro-y. Yeah, he's super bro-y. Like, he does come across that when people are like, oh my God, I love it. I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I just did not get the kindness and like the person. Like, I would love to hang out with him. Like, he was such a different person than I thought he was going to be completely. And I very much wrong.
Loved Danny. Like, was shocked how much I cared about. I'm rooting for Danny. I never thought I'd be rooting for Danny.
Absolutely rooting for Danny now.
Hands down.
Watching the episode and like I was like, oh my God, he's like right there. Like, I'm like, I love him now. I didn't know he was going to. Okay, great, yay.
Yeah, I'm shocked how much, and like Danny came out afterwards. Like Danny was in it. Also, Eric Abraham, love that man.
Yo, he's so nice as well. We didn't get enough time to get to know him, but like, I'm definitely going to like worm my way onto his channel, and then hopefully he'll want to come and chat over here as well with me and you, Jojo.
So sexy. Ricard looked incredible. Ricard.
I only got one picture with him. I didn't really get to speak to him because I didn't see him until the end of the night, but he is so handsome in person. Yes. I was like, wow. Like I thought he was a very good looking person on TV, but like in person, I was like, wow.
We got a photo together really close. I just kept nuzzling in a little more.
See if I can find it.
His body heat, like, yes, get in there.
It was so fun. If you watch the channel, Michelle and I usually talk about the challenge, but she came out and she got to meet, like, Ricard is another Sagittarius like she is. And so, like, I'm meeting the legend here. We got to meet Omar. We got to meet Marianne. Like, what is happening? It was so fun. And like, it was just, it was a really great experience. And like, now I want to like be a Bryson Wen groupie and like go to all of their events now, right?
We'll go to Philadelphia tomorrow. Shout out to Philadelphia. They're going to Philly tomorrow.
Well, the Philly one, they're having I think it's the finale is going to happen in Philly as well, or something, or close to the ending.
They're doing a pop-up tomorrow, free for everyone. If you live in Philadelphia, get there. I'm not sure where it is, but get there.
Okay, Helen, let's just do this so you can see this. It's me, Michelle, and Ricard.
Look at that smile. Look at all three of those smiles.
Let's see. Who else is pertinent here? Us taking a karate stance with Danny.
Yeah, full kick. Like, I had that full extension.
Yes.
Leg out.
Where is another one that's fun? Oh, hold on. I know which one is fun. This one. A little bear hug with Brittany from Big Brother and Marianne.
I love that. I haven't seen that one. That one's really cute.
So cute. I have you smizing with Miss Jatia.
That woman.
Cheekbones for days.
Cutting them.
It's another good one here. That might be like the best that I have on my phone, but there's more great photos out there for sure. And this was a fabulous event. And so if you can get around to going to any of these Bryson Wen Presents events, like, it's a good time. They really put in a lot of effort to like make sure everybody has a good time. There's always people from these shows that are supporting them, and I definitely recommend it 100%. I highly endorse Bryson Wen Presents. So good. So good. So anything else other than our matching outfits here?
Yeah,
we wore matching outfits, Canadian tuxedos for our event that we were taking over their Instagram for. And look at that. We didn't even plan this one.
Again.
We're still matching.
Cute. Mm-hmm. This is Amazing Race edition together. We're like, here we go.
And we're still matching. Wait, did me and you take a picture together alone?
I sure hope so.
Did we take one on maybe the step and repeat?
Oh, we did. We did. Did we go in alone? I hope so. I'll look later. My phone's jammed. It's beautiful. That's so much to send you still, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, I don't like. I haven't even posted anything on my own socials. No. Like, I'm just gonna just do like one blast. Like, it's so belated, but like whatever. Just
there's a dump. There you go.
Like, there's what's happened in the last 3 months of my life.
It's out there.
Well, Willie here wants to know: was there someone that we disliked in episode 1?
Oh.
Well, we're gonna be starting to talk about this episode, and I'll have to say, like, not to spoil anything, but no, I don't think so. How'd you feel overall about episode 1? Like, we didn't really get to watch it at the event because there was just too many people, so much stimulus, like too many conversations to be had, too much texting, too much like having, like, it was just like it was a lot. So I knew what was happening, but I didn't know everything that was going on in the episode until I watched it again after.
Yeah, only thing I was able to see was poor Bruce and the tribal council moment that shocked everyone when it erupted, like the place erupted in screams and shock and appalledness.
I didn't even see that. I don't know when that actually happened, but like I heard everybody the mumbles about it after, being like, what happened there? And then people explained it to me, and I was like, what happened there?
I still don't know what happened there.
I think I have an idea because I watched a little bit of Exit Press, but let's get into recapping this new season of Survivor 44. I really liked the way that it started. It was with kind of like a behind the scenes look at Carolyn and her producer having a chat, and him explaining to her how to have an interview here. I thought it was really fun. I like kind of looking behind the curtain. I'm nosy like that, and just seeing kind of how the show gets made.
1,000%. I loved it. I thought it was really charming. It was a great way to start a big character right away. And hopefully we get to, know her for a little bit longer at least.
And we get introduced to Carson, and we see that he's, been making puzzles. I'm interested in that. Like that should I went onto Etsy and I went to see if there were the Survivor puzzles, and there are some, but I want like the bigger ones. I want a company, is it me? Like to start making life-size Survivor puzzles. Like they make life-size Jenga. They make life-size Connect 4. Like, let's see life-size or like big-size Survivor replicas. Like that would be
and
great.
It can be
copywritten, but you know what I mean.
It can just turn into art afterwards. You put it up on your wall. You're like, there you go.
Absolutely, a big
Done.
tree, or maybe like it's something that you play on a regular basis. You have a party, invite people over.
Yes.
To play Survivor puzzles. I would go.
That sounds like our kind of party. Let's be real.
It's my kind of party. I love a game night. Not gonna lie. You could entice me to come over for a game night for sure. How'd you feel about Jaime pulling in the boat and coming to the shore and falling in the water?
I love it. In my opinion, it starts off an underdog story right away. There we go. We see her literally. What's the worst thing that could happen to you? You fall flat in your face. Done.
Yeah, I already got that done.
But that's not the worst thing that can happen to you on Survivor. That's coming later.
No, that's not the worst thing that could happen to you. I did hear, were you there? Someone told me that Jaime Lynn had, it was when we were doing our draft, I think.
Okay.
That she had the falling into the water on her. Who are we talking to? Now I'm conflating everything. And I was like saying that, like, oh, maybe that's like a way that she could look like she's going to be the winner now, because like she's trying to destroy. Was it maybe Danny we were talking about it? I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Was it Danny? My friend Danny.
Danny.
Anyway, someone was saying that like, oh, we're talking about how, some people have merch now. So is that mean that they're going to be winning or that they're going to do well? So they're going to have some merch. And then some people be like, oh, well, Jaime Lynn had on her Instagram the video of her falling into the water. I'm like, well, that could be like, oh, look how poorly this started, as like a distraction for the fact that she actually is going to end up winning at the beginning of the game, like started from the bottom and now she's here. So anyways, that's what I was thinking.
I like that.
We're talking to about this though.
It's edgic, it's logic. I love it. Yes, it's possible.
It is possible. So everybody meets on the mat in their respective tribes, and Jeff is making his monologue on the beach. Now, I will never want anybody other than Jeff hosting US Survivor. But I think he may have drinking a little bit too much of his own Kool-Aid, because I know what the game of Survivor means to me, but when he tells me how amazing Survivor is, it makes me roll my eyes a little bit when he's just like, and then like you have to like turn and the game turns around and then you just vote each other out. And I'm like, we get Survivor. Yes. I've been watching it for half my life. Like, I get what's going on here, but like him saying it like it's just like such a profound experiment, like journey. It's like, okay, Jeff, like.
And I'm curious who's starting Survivor in the 44th season, right? Like, oh, this is my what is the show? I'm going to put this on. Who's starting Survivor 44, the first episode? Who needs to be told what's going down?
There are people that do like that is their first season. Like, I mean, I guess because
if you're maybe 12 or 13, maybe.
I guess because like I pretty much grew up my whole adult life watching Survivor, that I can't imagine not being familiar with Survivor. But I guess there are people that need to understand how like this is a game of strategy and we have to work together. And then and I'm like, okay, Jeff, we get it. See, Mezzanine 99 is on my 77 is on my page here right now. Yes, I agree. It's too much. It's just a bit of an eye roll. And I'm like, oh, I'll fast forward a little bit of this. Maybe. I didn't, but I wanted to. I thought about it. But they're going to start this off with a reward so they can win some supplies for the camp.
Yeah.
And so the first thing that happens, we see Bruce like running full speed, and they're supposed to go under these wooden like slats or whatever, like wooden logs type thing, and into the sand underneath the log. And he did not aim that very well at all, and he basically rammed his head into the wood.
Yeah.
And he obviously got stars for a second, and then he continues along and then kind of comes back, and then he starts noticing that he's bleeding and it's dripping. And then they call for medic. So what would you think was going on here? Because we knew that Bruce was going to take a hit at some point. We saw that in the trailer.
Yep.
None of us ended up choosing him in our draft because we were worried. Oh, do you know what? It was the draft with Sarah that we talked about that. Okay, sorry. And it was Jesse that brought it up, or I think brought it up. Anyways, okay. Yes, Jesse, another person that I love.
Yes.
Sorry. So yeah. So what do you think about Bruce getting that hit there? Because it looked bad. It looked worse the hit than it did in the preview.
1,000,000,000%. I mean, I feel like when you see something like that happen on television, it brings you back to a moment in your own life. I was once jumping on a bed like in Mexico, and the fan was turned on for the first time, and I went right up and it stopped.
Oh my God.
And
Jojo.
just like the feeling from the tip of your from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, when you see the blood, when you like, okay, it's time to investigate what's going on. He didn't have time for that. He kept going. He took a second and went under, and then came back up and finished, and then medic, stop it all. So for me personally, it always brings me back to a moment in my own life when I went, oh God, yeah, I feel that. Ooh.
I don't want to ever.
And I can only imagine your first like 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, like
beginning.
You don't want to like feel like you're unwell or like anything to be focused on you in that way. Like you're fine. Like you hit your head, like you're good. You're like, it's just it'll wear off in a second,
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan here is saying Jeff let Bruce decide if he wants to see a medic, which he thought was strange. I mean, I is it strange? I don't know. I think maybe Jeff didn't want to make that call for him. I'm not sure why the medic wasn't immediately called when they saw all that blood and the fact that he did that from hitting his head going full force into a log.
Yeah.
Like full speed into a log.
I mean, the excitement, the adrenaline's pumping. Blood flow is going to come out the more you move, obviously, but a head wound, shut that shit down.
Yeah, I mean, it's also really weird though. Like, okay, medic, stop, everybody, stop. Like, and I'm like, it's just weird. I feel like I don't know. It just was weird to see for whatever reason. I guess I don't really enjoy seeing these medical things happen. Like, I don't want things to be so dangerous that people are like in serious danger from a challenge. Like that I don't like. I don't like that a challenge is not going to be able to be fully fair because of the fact that they had to stop it. And then is he going to be able to come participate in the end? Like, I just hated all of the fact that somebody got hurt in a challenge that they created. I was pissed. I agree with you, Mezzanine. Mezzanine's husband and her were shocked that he kept going with all that blood running down his face. Well, the adrenaline probably made him not realize that he was that hurt. And like, he's probably just like kind of out of it. And like you said, he's on Survivor, like first challenge, like it's too much to be like, sorry, like I think I need to go see a medic and be taken out of this game because I might have a concussion. Like, it's probably not your first thought at all. So he does get kind of looked at over by the medic and everybody is cheering for Bruce. And then Jeff is such a showboat. Like, he's like, Bruce, call us back in. So Bruce is like, Survivor's ready.
Go.
So bad. I
Like,
mean,
lucky.
Cool, but like, lucky, cool, epic. But like, Jeff is just so embarrassing. He's like embarrassing dad.
He's a dad. Yeah, Jeff's a dad.
He's such an embarrassing dad with this show. And it's like, Dad, we get it. It's Survivor. Like, Dad. Like, so embarrassing. So I didn't really play the whole write down the whole challenge. But what was your favorite part of the challenge? I feel like I know what it would have been.
The lips, the mud, the drip. Why? What's my favorite part?
I thought your favorite part was it maybe not this part?
What?
This is the part where the three of them were that to throw the rings up, right?
Oh, the ring up, yeah.
Okay, when Carolyn needed to take off her pants,
she was like, 1 minute.
I need to take off my pants to like get this ring off of this pole. I thought that you'd have been like clocking that for sure.
Absolutely. What did she need to take off her? Yeah, take off your pants, girl. Whatever you need to.
It's getting in the way of her, like.
I get it. I get home and I'm pants off as soon as humanly possible. If I could live in underwear and a sweatshirt, that would be my ideal ensemble.
Yeah, because like you
keep the warm,
balance the heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But or throw a ring off of a pole. So.
I mean.
It's actually kind of difficult to do that. So maybe I don't know that the secret is taking off your pants.
Yeah, that's it.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
But in the end of this first reward challenge, Soka wins. Soka is green. Do we remember who was on Soka?
Danny.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters.
I remember that because I saw it. I was like, yeah, because he was still biased at that point.
Yes.
So Ratu wins second.
Right.
And so their opportunity now is they get to choose between sweet or sweat or savvy. So we remember sweat and savvy from the last three, I believe. So 41, 42, and 43 had this kind of dilemma at your first opportunity to get to your camp. So sweat is usually like a hard working task where you had to do something strenuous for potentially many hours. And then savvy is usually some sort of puzzle where you don't have very many chances to try again.
One in this case. Whew.
Right?
One guess.
Mm-hmm. So Ratu does win the second position here. So they get to choose whether sweat or savvy is the one that they want to take. And then Tika is going to have to do whatever is not chosen. Now, Soka winning green. What did they win? Like just supplies? Like was it something specific? I can't remember.
I think they won flint. Did they win flint or is that
probably? I'm sure.
Maybe some fishing supplies, maybe an axe, maybe a pot.
A pot, yeah.
No idea though.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing
interested in everything else except that.
Well, I just kind of think I'm like they won, and this is not immunity, so like, what did they get? But I don't think they really cared or showed us.
No.
So we do get to see Soka's tribe first, and they're all getting to know each other in the water. And what do you find about this getting to know you part? Did you have any thoughts about it?
No, I think first impressions are everything, obviously. And you kind of gauge up, like, you're looking around at numbers, like, okay, these are who, if you're all getting along, great. But then if you're all getting along, maybe I'm not doing great.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not the one in. So I think there has to be the structure begins. You're all here. It's starting to grow.
Absolutely. And the one thing though, I enjoyed this premiere, and I've now learned in this new era of Survivor to be watching it for different reasons. I used to love it for the strategy, love it for the gameplay and how people are able to use themselves to maneuver and potentially get a win. That's what I used to watch Survivor for. And now it's more so just as a show to entertain me. I'm not really looking at gameplay anymore. And so just like as my negative critique is, I think that I'm done with the 3 tribe format. I think I need to see more flexibility with people being able to put themselves in better positions. Survivor's always been a numbers game. And it's a little more difficult, I'd say, of a game to play than Big Brother, because in Big Brother, at least, 2 people are nominated and then people are voting, and there's a lot of people are voting, and like you have the veto opportunity. Like there's just more ways for you to protect yourself and position yourself better in the game. And in Survivor, if you are the odd person out, its chances are, without like an idol or something, you can't really shift the perception in the game or like shift you being the vote. But if there were more people, there'd be more room and flexibility for people to maybe make some more interesting gameplay. So I really hope that this is the last season of the 3 tribe starts, because I want something different to happen now.
Yeah, I'm ready for something, especially coming fresh from our favorite Survivor, Australian Survivor.
Yeah.
I mean, starting with 24 huge tribes, lots of interactions, lots of maneuvering to happen.
So much happening, and I'm
With
just like
6. there's not a lot of, I don't know.
Movement. Yeah, there's not a lot of movement and not a lot of gameplay. Like, yes, there's going to be gameplay, but it's just not going to be that impressive.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of what I was seeing. Like, okay, yeah, cool. Everybody's going to get to know each other. But like, I wish that it was bigger, more people that they couldn't get to know, because like, okay, what if you're on a tribe and you don't really get along with anybody and you're like, damn it, like, how am I going to put myself in a better position here? It's a little bit harder with just 5 other people to really talk to.
Very likable cast, though. Surprisingly, there's not a lot of conflict right away, or someone that when I'm like, I don't like them.
Nobody. I know. Yeah, I'm fine.
And there's no one that I'm like, I don't like that person.
Oh, don't even get me started, Mezzanine. That's my other gripe. Is that like I really like the 26 days isn't doing it for me. The fact that on Australian Survivor, 26 days was like the merge only. Yeah. And like so much epic gameplay happened up until this point. Like I need 39 days to be back.
I will say that if I'm playing, I'm okay with 26 days.
No, but it might be easier for them to get you out because you're not even having the opportunity to make like really good relationships, right?
I can do it fast, but I won't starve as much. That would be my one fear, is my body giving out.
Taurus people need their food.
Food.
Oh my God. I can live on air. I mean, I can be, I'll be annoyed, but like I can go a long time without eating for sure. All right. What happens next? There's an idol in a cage. What do you think about this new twist here?
I actually love it. I think it's either going to create a harmony with the tribe, like we're all in this together, this is our tribal, like let's figure it out, or it's like you see who's gunning for it, who wants power first. And in my opinion, I would have been like, okay, next thing. Don't even want to talk about it. Wouldn't even look at it. No.
You don't think?
No. Maybe in the moment I probably would. Let's be real. My analytical brain is like, don't look at it. Pretend it's not there.
So then like somebody else goes and finds it, takes it, and you're like, oh.
It's not, one in 5 other folks. Who's got it? Who's going to tell me? Maybe you will. Maybe you won't.
I definitely would want to create a plan for whatever is happening in that cage. I would not want to ignore it.
Fair. Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, what's going on here? What should we do about it? Like, we need to come to an agreement about what's happening with this thing.
What are we doing?
Because like, what if you did it and someone finds it, just takes it like that? That could create some chaos, to be fair. Yeah. It'd be kind of fun. But especially if we decided on something and then someone went against it and just stole it. Case of the missing advantage or idol. So sweat or savvy is what we're going to have to be choosing for over on Ratu. So we learned that sweat is going to be 2 people collecting coconuts for 4 hours. Oh, they have 4 hours to complete this, going back and forth to different sides and collecting more coconuts on each way. And then for savvy, it's a brain teaser that they have 15 minutes to complete. What would you choose?
I would choose 2 other people on my tribe to do sweat, and I would go hang out. I'd go hang out with the other 4. The 4 of us would just go hang out, love our lives, get to know each other. Good luck, boys. Thank you.
Also, yeah, because you're like, oh, we don't want to have the big beefy guys in this game. So people that didn't step up to do that, let's get those guys out.
Let me go build a relationship with the other 3. Bye.
Yeah. Peace. I mean, I feel like I might be suckered into doing savvy.
I think you would be too.
But you know what though? You pointing this out to me right now, if I'm ever in this position, I will choose not to do that.
Yeah, just go relax with everyone else. It's the first day. Like let everyone else be exhausted. Let them show off how smart they are. That's great. I'm gonna go have fun with Janet over here and make her think I'm her long lost son. Yeah, she'll be happy to see me win at the end. That's a jury vote. Awesome. Let's go hang out. No thanks for. I'm not sweating. I'm not going to use my brain in the moment.
I'm definitely not going to be sweating. I would never be doing sweat. I could potentially be doing savvy because it's only 15 minutes. So it's actually not that long of a time to be away. And if you come back victorious, that is going to look great for the tribe. So I think because of the 15 minutes, I may be tempted to just do savvy. But also, I think I like the fact that like I don't want to be the hero or the person that fails the task, so I might just like put that in someone else's hands for this one.
Absolutely.
I want to set my game up a bit better before I decide to take these kind of risks.
Take those cards and hold them very close and just wave away. Thank you, everyone. Good work.
Good work. Good work. Oh my God, you're amazing.
Yes,
I could never do that.
Yes.
But they choose Sweat over at Ratu, and Brandon, who is a big beefy guy, ex-football player, I believe, and then Matthew, who decides to step up here.
He called himself the smallest guy in the tribe. I'm like, no, there's no small guy in this. Relax. There's no small guy on this tribe. Matthew.
Well, maybe he's small, like maybe height-wise. Like maybe he's only like, I don't know, 5. Who else is on the tribe?
Brandon, him, and Kane?
Kane?
Yeah.
No, it's not Kane.
Oh, because
it is Kane. No, it is Kane. It is Kane. It is Kane. Yes, it is Kane. Yes. Kane.
Yeah, they're all large enough men.
Fair. But maybe though Kane does seem to be a little bit sturdier, and same with Brandon. So maybe he's saying small as in slight. You know what I mean? Maybe not height.
I would never describe that man as small.
Okay. He'd just be like, maybe you know something I don't. Okie dokie.
Are we watching the same show? I'm like, all these underwear shots. I'm like, oh my God.
I see. I don't necessarily look.
That's the gay in me, though. I'm like,
I feel like I'm like, I guess I shouldn't look, but I'll look a little bit. But
you're being respectful.
Yeah,
I'm looking respectful.
I don't want to be violating his bulge.
See, if I when I am one day cast on Survivor, I'm bringing every Speedo. I'm not bringing any shorts, so they cannot say no to one. I'm like, oh, sorry, this is all I brought.
You're just gonna, so you're like, it's gonna be bulge strategy.
Yes, that's it. No,
so wait, how are you gonna use your bulge to win you the game?
Well, I'll probably wear one of those.
Is it just to win the draft, so people will choose you in the draft because of the bulge?
That's it. But great place to put an idol, because I could put like some Speedos have pouches that like cover your area, so just shove it down fast, and like maybe suck in a little, and no one will have any idea. There'll be nothing funky going on down.
Like they're gonna see on the bulge like a medallion like that. Yes. They'd be like normal.
This is my normal bulge. It's just a medallion.
All right, now that you say this, I need you to get on Survivor, and like I'm literally going to just take screenshots of only your bulge, like every episode, and be like, let's like bulge watch.
Bulge watch.
Be like bulge watch. What else is Jojo fitting in his bulge?
Yes, I'll be putting like my buff around, like a skirt, like a top. Like I love wearing the buff with clothes. I miss those days. Everyone was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear my shirt. Here's
People
my skirt."
Still kind of do it a little bit.
Yeah, they do. But I like early on, everyone was like, "We're wearing this."
I know. I definitely like
our
the
uniform.
creativity with their buff. Absolutely. Yeah. So over at Tika, they're going to get whatever was given to them, and they are going to have to do Savvy. So Helen and Carson end up stepping up to the plate here. And basically what they have to do is count the number of circles in this sculpture.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like circle and circles and circles, and it kind of looks like a model of something, like maybe, I don't know, I can't really describe what it is, but it's like circles and circles. And then circles and circles in circles, kind of. It was definitely very challenging to be able to, because I think they had to stay a certain distance away from it, so you couldn't actually just go and touch. So it would be challenging for, your perception is like, is that on this side or is that on that side?
Yeah.
Is that another circle? But what they figured out is to count where all the circles the axes meet. And so they'd be like, okay, that's 3 there. That's 3 there. That's 3 there, whatever. And there was in total, I believe it was 18. And they seemed to get it right away because that was the correct answer. And while they were figuring this out, though, their other teammates do stumble upon the caged idol. Well, does it sound like it sounds like a Maya Angelou poem or something? The caged idol. Oh, or like maybe it's a
murder
Jackie
mystery.
Jackie Collins book,
Oh,
right?
romance.
Like she's an idol, but then she's caged because her family is evil and they want to keep her. Was this the story of Britney Spears?
Oh my God.
Like I'm taking it too far.
Fred.
She is the caged
Yeah,
idol.
free the bird. Free the
Free the
bird.
bird. Free Britney.
Free the idol.
And so the caged idol, I'm enjoying the name of it. I think I like it enough. I'd rather people be dealing with the caged idol as opposed to looking for an idol separately. Because I don't really find idol huntings that interesting.
Yeah.
So, but then we're back over. Why did I write brutal? Oh, Matthew and Brandon are tired. Oh my gosh. Back over there. What a terrible challenge. Like it literally took them to the entire 4 hours to go back and forth with these damn coconuts. Now, I was watching Rob and Chappelle talk about this episode.
Yeah.
And somebody I think called in and or like wrote a message, something saying like, could they have drained the coconuts of their liquid? And so that at least they would be light coconuts.
I thought the same thing, but I don't know if you want to exert all of your energy just smashing how many odd coconuts.
I would smash 100 coconuts and drag 100 empty coconut husks, right? Or like drink them.
Easier for sure.
Drink,
if you had an axe,
the water. Hydrate yourself as you're going through.
Oh,
like,
coconut water. Oh, ugh, yuck.
I mean,
I'd have to do it. Not even a little bit. I would drink it. I'll drink anything.
There's one really good coconut water. Blue Monkey coconut water with pulp is delicious. But if you had this one coconut water that tastes like it's rotten, and that's the way that they sell it, but like Blue Monkey coconut water, please sponsor us here at the channel. Please. I love it. Is delicious. Please.
I take it all back. I promise.
So why don't you like coconut water? What happened? What happened, Jojo?
Oh God. Well.
It didn't have to do with your bulge.
No, that was me on the therapist couch.
No, I know, but I was gonna say, does it have to do with your bulge? But
I don't
as a question,
no.
While you're on the couch.
While I'm on the couch, no, just never a fan. Just always thought it was a little murky of a taste. Couldn't get into it.
You just haven't had the right one. This one is so refreshing. There's another brand. I can't remember the name of the brand, but Blue Monkey is definitely my favorite. I'm going to let you try it.
Okay, I'll try it.
It's like if you're thirsty, chugging coconut water is so refreshing when it's really cold. And I like the pulp in it, like the little bits in it.
Yeah, I like pulp in my orange juice.
Yeah, well, these pulps are just like little bits of cut up coconuts.
Oh,
you're like, ugh.
I'd like to eat coconut. I like to eat coconut,
like even raw coconut, or like
that
sugary.
I'm cool with chocolate coconut, with raw coconut. It's just the liquid for whatever reason.
What have you had it just like from an actual coconut and it was like warm?
I have at Sugar Beach. It was like some event, and I was like, "Oh, these are so cute! I'm gonna I have my straw. I'm gonna need a photo." And then during the photo, I'm like, "Oh God!"
Maybe you hadn't had coconut. Was that the only time you ever had it?
No, I've tried like cans from like being on Church Street, like at 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm gonna get some coconut water and a slice of pizza, and I'll sit at home like eating my pizza. I'm like, I'm trying. Oh God, why do I do this to myself?
I need you to try. There's 2 brands, Blue Monkey and the one I can't remember.
Okay.
Buddha, something Buddha. Buddha water or something Buddha is the other one that I like with pulp. Blue can, blue and white can, and Blue Monkey's blue and white can, but it's like mostly blue. We're gonna get you onto coconut water because it's like very, very good, in my opinion.
I'll give her a go.
So while Matthew and Brandon are out there not drinking coconut water, so maybe they got your memo, we see that Ratu finds the caged idol. And so, I mean, it's kind of fun seeing them discover something different and new about the season. Because I'm assuming that they've at least watched the 41, 2, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And so like this being a little bit different, I'm happy about that. Do you think that there's still going to be some sort of weird phrase to any idol, beware advantages or anything like that?
I don't know. There was a lot of, special idols advantages happening. I'm not sure if we'll see Beware this year. We've done it for 3 seasons. Let's hope it's done for a little bit.
Like the cage idol is like the new Beware.
Yeah, let that be its own thing.
I'm into it. I mean, I don't need to see them say silly lines. I don't like people losing their votes. I really don't. I just not on these small tribes. And so with the Beware advantages being like until like it's activated, like you lose your vote. I'm like, I think that sucks.
No,
I think that sucks. And they probably got to actually realize that people are not going to risk their votes anymore. And so like it kind of will be a flop. They'll be like, oh, I don't want the Beware advantage. I don't want to lose my vote. Because it screws a lot of people over.
Yeah.
Big time. So Yum Jam Jam gets fire over at Tika. I was happy about that.
I love Tika.
Tika's your favorite? Who else is on Tika again?
Carolyn, Helen,
Carson,
that little twink. Sarah was a big surprise for me this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I, for whatever reason, I was like, oh, Sarah, like whatever. I thought she was great.
How'd you feel about Carson beefing up to be on Survivor? You gained 30 pounds.
3 months? In 3 months.
Like, what was he eating?
I will say though, I think I would try and gain a little bit of weight, like maybe 10 pounds, 15, but 30 is a lot of weight. And if your body is used to like absorbing all of that to work out and like keep up with the energy, I think it's too much.
No, but I think that he'll just have weight to burn, right? Like he's thinking about starving. Like if he's weighs 130 or 15 pounds, like 115 pounds on Survivor, going down to like losing like 15 pounds with 100 pounds. I don't know how tall he is, but 100 pounds for almost any height above 5'2" is very small.
Yeah.
Like my mom is 5'5" and she weighs like 110, 115, and like she's teeny tiny. So like smaller than that. Yeah, I think it's good that he put on some weight just so that he has some weight to lose. He'll go back down to basically his like regular size probably during his Survivor days. So
I hope so. We just see all these like men that put on a lot of weight or are big muscular men that fall hard when they're not used to eating.
I just think
he's not that muscular. That's fair. That's fair. He's not like it's.
No, he's still small.
Yeah,
he's still very lean.
Guy.
He's very, very tiny. But I think it was smart for him to gain this weight because if he's going to lose weight and he's already only starting at like 115, that's wild. So we see Heidi getting fire on this side over at Green Soka. Sorry, Green at Soka. So Yum got fire for Tika. Heidi gets fire for Soka. She's tiny but mighty, apparently.
Yes. Heidi also has, I guess, the longest name to ever appear on Survivor, like in that text.
Translate something.
Yes. And I think it's like 18 or 19 letters. But then I realized last night, I'm like, my little sister's last name is long because she hyphenates. And I counted, and it's 28 letters. So I immediately thought, like, Kathleen, you need to be on the next Survivor.
Whoa.
28 letters.
Can you say the last name?
O'Toole McGilvery.
That's 28 letters?
Her name is Kathleen. That's a long name.
Oh, Kathleen with Kathleen. Right. Sorry. I'm like going.
Hyphen. I think that counts. Like, I'm like.
Okay, characters. Yeah. I mean, I'm just picturing the whole thing. You're probably like all the way across.
Yeah, it would destroy everyone's spreadsheets. Anyone that has ever done a spreadsheet, she'd destroyed. She'll ruin it.
Well, it just had to be like on like the fold around.
Yeah.
Like it's like you only see like Kathleen O'Toole. O'Toole.
O'Toole. There it is.
That's she doesn't have the rest of her last name.
No.
So Matt and Frannie is going to be our Survivor romance here. They're laughing and bonding. Matt just got out of a little relationship, so he is ready for a rebound. And what better rebound than on Survivor, where it could win you $1 million?
Yeah, I mean, I like a little showmance on Survivor. We haven't had one in a very long time. But do you remember the first showmance on Survivor? Back in like 2004 or 5. No, it was the Australian Survivor. And the woman that won, her name was Charlotte. And everyone called her Charlotte the Harlot because she was married. but was like fooling around with a guy on the island, and they aired it. And she was on. She like
the original 2 Australian survivors.
Yes, yeah. She was like the very first one.
Well, because there was
Or
2
UK.
that was a long time.
Sorry, maybe it wasn't Australia. Maybe it was Survivor UK.
Okay, I don't know.
I think it might have been UK.
Sorry.
Yeah, so she like went into the merge with like 2 people in her tribe. They voted the other person out, and she got to the very bitter end, made it to final 3, won her way to final 2, and then won the entire thing. But then the tabloids came for her for,
infidelity.
But Charlotte the Harlot, I loved her too. She was lovely. I was happy for her.
This could be something that I watched and I just don't remember now, because I feel like I'd seen all of Survivor Australia, even the first iterations of it. But
yeah, I think it's like the UK like Survivor UK, like the very first one.
They didn't do very many, so I don't know.
It was like the first, I don't know. I think they did like 5 or 6 in total. But it was way back when. If anyone remembers Charlotte the Harlot.
Charlotte the Harlot, about to go
comment down below.
That in a second, absolutely. So I'm excited to look at Matt and Frannie little relationship. Do you think we're going to have a proposal at the end of this?
Oh, if they make final 2, I sure hope so. I hope Frannie gets down on her knee. She's like, listen, Matt, I'm about to actually win. This is a role reversal for Amber and Rob. Because Rob totally just proposed because he knew she was about to become a millionaire. No, I'm kidding. They love each other. They love each other.
I think that they loved each other.
They love each other. They do.
I was standing that ship for a long time. Like I loved it. I was obsessed with that whole
their wedding, Amazing Race.
I watched it. I was like, yeah. So we see Bruce, and it's nighttime, and he's kind of being very quiet, and he's kind of secluding himself from the rest of the group. And the medic does end up coming back in and assessing him. And in the end, they do decide to pull Bruce from the game to go for further tests. He's saying that he has a really bad headache and he's not able to see well. And, with a head injury, that can be very, very scary. So he's pulled. Bummer. Because a lot of people were saying that, like, oh, like, why didn't you guys choose Bruce? Like, he's going to be so good. And I was like, I don't know. He saw him at the medic. And they're like, they're not going to show the medic scene if he's going to go home. And I was like, I don't know. It just doesn't look great.
Yeah. I thought he was lovely. I mean, Jeff has left an invitation for him to come back. But it does peeve me a little that we couldn't just have him step out of the game to be evaluated and then come back before tribal.
Or even after, because Australian Survivor, they actually give a 24-hour window if something medical happens, that they can 24 hours and go get checked by the hospitals, be monitored for a certain amount of time. And if they're able to come back into the game in that 24-hour period, they're able to return. Now, if that's built into the game, I think then it should be fine. You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't know, getting hurt, that's freaking annoying. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want my game to be like immediately just abandoned for the fact that, like, I got hurt in the game that they created. So let me get assessed before I get pulled out.
I also wouldn't want to screw over the other 5 people that are with me. Just saying it. I'm just putting that out there. If we had alternates in place for the first, I don't know, 3 days of the game,
true too.
Throw them in. Great numbers, but numbers mean a lot in Survivor. And if I lost, obviously feel awful for Bruce. It's unfortunate all around, but looking at a game perspective, that's one person down that I might not necessarily want to be down right away.
So first off, Vicky says that Charlotte the Harlot was the first winner of Survivor UK. And also says that the press secretary has said since he was concussed, he still wouldn't have been able to return in 24 hours. Fine, but I would like him to still have gotten the 24-hour like assessment. You know what I mean? Like, I would like that to be built into the game, because I don't want people to get hurt, but I don't want people to be immediately pulled from the game for getting hurt on a challenge that a production created. And be like, sorry, this you got hurt in our game, but you're gonna have to leave the show. I would like them to get the opportunity to at least potentially come back in. if they're allowed. Yeah, so he's pulled from the game. I was really bummed about it, but happy that I didn't take him on my draft. So sorry, audience, but you guys lost one already on this draft. And we see on Matthew's tribe, so Matthew is on Ratu, I believe. He makes fire. Matthew makes fire for the group. The smallest guy in the tribe makes fire. We learned that he's really outdoorsy. And what was he trying to find at the top of that rock?
Who effing knows?
I think he said something like maybe there was like husks or coconuts or like crabs. I think maybe it was crabs, actually.
What are you doing up there?
I don't know
what he's doing.
He should not be allowed to be climbing up there at all, because he climbs up. He puts his hand on a rock that's not stable and he falls down. He could have like killed himself, literally. Could have breaking a leg, breaking a neck, breaking a collarbone, like.
Oof. And I've dislocated a shoulder before. It is not a fun situation at all. It's scary. You immediately are like, oh, my arm is just not there. Okay.
Did you pop it yourself, or did you have to go to the hospital?
No, I fell down Ossington subway station, and a TTC worker who probably shouldn't popped it back in for me. And I was like on the ground, like, oh, like a fish. I'm like, oh my God, like my arm is out.
I'm at Ossington Station all the time.
Yeah, the Delaware exit.
Oh, I never used that exit.
I was going down and like went oh
my
forward God. And just like on my face, looking around like, oh my, this is happening. Yep, my arm's gone. It's like, I look like death becomes her. Like she done.
Oh my gosh.
But then he came over and like just popped it
and then like did he call an ambulance, like, or did you just like continue on with your day, or like
I got on the subway. I was going to meet with friends and I was like, I gotta go, like I got some place to be, but it killed for days. Like it really hurt me for days, and I ended up going to a doctor and they were like, yeah, you're fine, but it still clicks.
Oh my gosh,
did you hear it?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, sorry everyone, it's probably not great, but it was like 15 years ago-ish. Still has a little click to it.
Oh boy, ouch. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna look at Ossington Station. Like I literally go to Ossington Station all the time. I don't use that entrance though, but I'm always there.
Yeah, stay away from Delaware.
Delaware, I mean, like that side, like that's the street that Anna lives on, so I'm actually on that street all the time. Thinking about it.
Picture me going face and like.
I mean, I'm always though before I go downstairs, I'm always like, okay, pay attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I especially in the wintertime where it can be very slippery. I try to be conscious of I'm like, oh, I don't want to fall down the stairs, so I'm like, oh, let me hold the railing, etc.
Yes.
Ossington Station click. Jojo's ghost will haunt the station with his click. Who's the Facebook user? I need to find out who this is. I can't tell. Facebook user, allow yourself to be seen, to be heard. I'm gonna find out who that was right now.
No.
Oh, it's Phil. Hi, Phil.
Well.
Funny, Phil, you cannot hide from us, even though it looks like you're the ghost of Ossington
Facebook
Station.
user.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, Phil. Danny says hi.
Yes, he was really jelly.
Yeah.
His little crush. So yeah, he dislocates his damn shoulder falling off this rock. So dumb, but the medic gives him a sling. He managed to pop it back in himself. And so he's able to continue on in the game. So for now, we'll see. Like, brutal. So Helen, Sarah, and Carson seem to be making a bit of a connection. No one's talking to Carolyn. She is screaming though.
She is screeching, yes. Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's the type of person that is pretty self-aware though, that they are themselves, they are strange.
Yes. There's her son's like, Mom, don't be too annoying.
Don't annoy people, but it's gonna happen. She's being herself.
But then a boat shows up. I don't know if it's that tribe, but this whatever tribe this boat shows up, one person must go. So to each of the tribe, they all have to choose some way, somehow, one person to go. So Sarah is chosen, Matt is chosen, and Lauren is chosen. Now, we do hear that Lauren says that she put the rocks together, and so she knew which rock it was. So that was going to be the outsider rock, so that she would be able to pick it and be able to go to the whatever the journey the truck is. Would you have done the same?
I probably would have said like, my birthday is on Tuesday, or like, my birthday's in 4 days. Can I go? Or something to try. And but I think it's brilliant. Lauren's so smart. Yes. Like, I'm only interested in self-interested players. So she's putting herself out there. Get it done. Yes, please.
Get it done. Get it done. So while they are off on their journey now, I don't know which tribe it was, but they split up to find the key. It was just Maddy's tribe. I don't remember these tribe names yet. They were Ratu. Okay, green, Ratu. I think. Ratu. So they split up to find the key for the caged idol. And Brandon does find the key, but then he tries to pretend like he didn't find the key. But Maddy sees him find the key. And Maddy wanted to keep the key a secret, but then Brandon decides to tell Maddy about the key and then wants to tell everybody.
And then says she's sketchy for like, no, it's, yeah.
What would you have done if you were Brandon?
If someone saw me with the key, I'd say like, okay, yeah, you come over, we'll discuss this together. But if I saw a key, if the key's down here and I see it, I'm staying up here with you. I'm not, yeah. I can come back for that. I know it's there. I'm in no rush.
Yes.
Keep it going. Come back for it.
And if it's gone, you know, someone else found it, right? And hasn't said anything. And like that could also be good information, right?
Yep. And then you would know like that person doesn't have it because I was with them when we went away for 5 minutes.
And sneak on back. You know, somebody else that would have maybe had.
Yeah. I definitely think if I was playing Survivor, I'd bring my glasses and just forget them everywhere. I'd be like, oh my God, my glasses, I forgot them. Let's go back. And like, great excuse to run away for a minute. Where are my glasses? I'm looking for them. Someone who found, where are they? Were they thrown in the fire? Oh no.
I guess that could work. Maybe just be like really forgetful and like lose your water bottle all the time. Absolutely. And like can't find anything. That could be a strategy, but people might be like, I don't trust it. Why is he always losing everything? Is he going to do something sneaky?
Only thing I don't want to lose is the final tribal.
True. Or fire making it for.
Oh God. Yes.
Why did I write orange medallion has no power?
Oh, I have absolutely no idea.
Okie dokie. Why did orange medallion has no power?
Oh,
Bill, what am I talking about?
Help.
Help me.
Help.
So back over at the track while we try to figure out what my note is. So they enter the jungle for this trek and they have to follow the path, and then they each have to choose their own path, picking a different direction. And so there's 3 packages and they have to choose at least one. So I also don't like the forced nature of this part. Like they can't choose whether or not they want to participate. Like they have to participate no matter what. And basically inside there is 2 lose your votes and 1. Wait, there are 2 idols, 1 real.
Yes, one real, 1 fake. Okay.
Oh, right. Thank you, Phil. You did know, and he did accept his StreamYard's stipulations. Right, in the bird cage.
Yes,
so they did come together. They did go. They opened the cage, and they found that there is an idol, and then there's an idol that is fake. Orange medallion that has no power. Thank you. You guys remember things that I don't remember. Thank you. You guys are great. Appreciate you. So basically they have to choose, and so they're gonna have a 66% chance that they're gonna choose a lose your vote. It just sucks. Oh, my mom's telling me fake medallion.
Hey Sharon.
Hi. You remembered. I never remembered. Thank you. Well, I said orange medallion has no power, and I didn't even remember this, so thank you everybody for remembering. So Sarah, she goes in, and so you're able to choose again. If you get a loser vote, you're still able to go and pick again. So this is kind of like the do or die twist a little bit, but no matter what, you still lose your vote, right? And then if you choose the second lose your vote, you lose your vote for 2 tribals in order to try to get this one prize that you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Like, brutal. So Sarah does lose 1 vote. She goes back in again, and she gets an inheritance advantage, which I don't really understand fully how it works. It seems like when idols or advantages are played and you play this inheritance, you get all of those advantages. Now, does it get to be played successfully, or have to be played successfully, or like anything that gets played, she just gets it after?
I think she has to go to the voting booth and say, I'm using this tonight. And that, thank you. I think she has to say, like, I'm using this tonight. So when there's an idol played, it will become mine. And then it's like to her.
Oh, and so it wouldn't be able to be used. She just gets to collect them and like steal them from them. That's too much power.
That's a lot of power. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how this works out, but I'd be happy to get that for sure. I'd be okay with not having a vote if I have this inheritance advantage.
Sure.
So Matt, he loses 1 vote. He goes back in again, hoping to get an advantage, and he loses a 2nd vote. So he's lost his vote for 2 tribals in a row. Great. Yes. That's so annoying. And then Lauren puts her hands in, and she is lucky McLucky because she got bank your vote. She did not have to lose a vote at all, which is great because she has a little bit of power because like she can use that information however she chooses to. So okay, so Vicky's actually helping us here. So it's not a steal. It's not a steal. The original player gets to use it too. Okay. Oh, okay. So whatever is used, regardless of whether or not it's used correctly or not, if it's used, then she gets to get it. Now, do they know that she receives this inheritance? Or is it something that she just like now back at camp, she gets like a little satchel that has all of her goodies?
I'd assume that, but never make assumptions.
That's true.
But yeah, I would assume that. Hopefully we find out.
I hope so. I think we'll find out. I think that's why they're saying this is a crazy season. It's probably because like that happens.
Twist heavy. Yeah, twist idol heavy. Great. Yeah. Perfect.
I mean, I don't mind idol plays, but when it's like strategic and it like helps benefit your game, you know? So Matt back at his tribe only talks about losing his 1 vote. And so he's lost 2, but he only talks about the 1. Yeah. Okay. Sarah lies completely and says that she doesn't know. Wait, it says she doesn't know. What does she not know?
Oh, I think
what the advantage is.
Yeah, she said she wasn't sure what the advantage was because it wasn't.
Oh, because she was pretending it was like last season where it was like you had to make a choice and you don't know if you lost your vote or if you got something depending on what the other people do, and you find out basically at tribal. Okay, right. So that's a decent way to play this out.
Sure. Yep.
And then Lauren completely lies and says that she lost her vote. Now, with her advantage, it's bank a vote. And so basically, if she doesn't use her vote, she can take that parchment paper and use it for another vote. So it's kind of like a steal her own vote type advantage. Yeah. So the fact that she's saying that she doesn't have a vote is actually setting her up for being able to bank her vote this round if she, or as soon as she needs it. So I thought that was a pretty insightful for her to do so quickly into the game. I was like, that's smart. That's good.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about the new immunity idols? So it's a sword and a shield.
Yeah, I was hoping like Taylor and Joseph would show up. I'll be like, yes, Taylor and Joseph, the sword and the shield of the season.
She said she'll never play Survivor.
Never Survivor. Not even the challenge.
Oh, speaking of which, though, we did meet Joseph and we got him to eat some ketchup Lay's chips. Just saying. Sorry. Go
Incredible. On. Yeah. Loved every second of that. Yeah, I thought they were cool. I think that's a fun new idol to have in play.
I'm in. So Matthew is going to be sitting out, and so is Claire. Obviously Matthew hurt his shoulder. Claire, I'm not sure why she was the one that sat out here. Maybe she wants to look underneath the bench to see if there's something, but we do learn later that she does take this as an opportunity to chat. But first out, they're going to be taking a boat out, paddling around a buoy. Then they have to swim to their chests and then pull the chest onto the track. And while they're doing this, it's obviously really strenuous. We see that Soka has an early lead here. And then they have to move this giant slide puzzle. Now, I'm really good at slide puzzles. Are you good at slide puzzles?
Yeah, I like them.
Would you be the caller or would you be moving them?
I think I'd want to be the caller.
Yeah, I'd be the caller too, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't want to push them. Seems like it sucks. But you need to have like that bird's eye view of like where to push them.
And projecting it properly, right? Like letting people know.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Actually, I lose my voice really easily, so maybe I wouldn't want to be yelling out there over top of the other two teams. Yeah. While they're pushing around the slide puzzle, Claire tells Matthew that Sarah showed them that she lost her vote. And so basically, if the person lost their vote, they would have showed you this. And it's kind of like she's forming like a cross-tribal bond, which I love, which they've been doing a lot in Australian Survivor this season, which I've been really into it. And so I'm happy to see that, like, oh, I like that she's making some bonds already so early in the season.
Love that. Yeah. Her, excuse me.
Excuse me.
I like you. I'm like, yeah. I think it's great to pass info if you can, and especially if you feel like, oh, maybe we will connect. Maybe this is a good moment for us to chat.
If they're there later, she is going to be someone that he's not going to want to throw or get rid of if they are ever on a tribe together. So I thought it was great. Go Claire. Loving it. Claire. So at one point during this challenge, Brandon cannot get up. So Jeff's like, hold up. Because Brandon needs some medical attention. Now, it's definitely because he has spent 4 hours dragging coconuts back and forth. Like Matthew was able to sit out of this, but he probably would have fainted as well, or passed out, or been overexerting energy, or being dehydrated. Like, they don't give them enough water to get back like what they exerted during that coconut challenge. Yeah. So I think that was a misstep on Survivor and production team.
I will say, when it comes to rewards, unless I really want to win it, you better believe I'm not exerting the most. You have to save that stuff for the immunity challenges. And if you're doing sweat, like I know it took them 4 hours and they're two strong people, that could have taken him out of the game too. So that was a lot for one day.
So I believe he probably got an IV. He wasn't able to continue with the challenge, but his team was able to continue on. But they were not able to win. Soka wins immunity. Tika wins immunity. That means that Brandon's tribe, Ratu, is going to be going to tribal council, and they're going to lose their flint. Like, was it worth it? Was the sweat worth it to lose your flint?
No.
Like, basically, like he got the flint to lose it.
Yeah.
Like forcing the other tribe to like have to sweat for 4 hours, like that would have been a better strategic move, even if you didn't get the savvy puzzle.
100%.
So Brandon feels sad. He let down his tribe. It would suck. I would feel really terrible, but he shouldn't have done sweat.
Yeah. Poor Debbie.
Debbie. Oh, Debbie Travis? Like what? Like Debbie? No.
Debbie from Survivor. I always think of them as, I think of them together only because of all their job titles and everything they've done.
Oh, right. Brandon sounds like me, though. I have like 90 jobs.
You too. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm a Debbie.
Yeah. You are Debbie. Not a downer, but a Debbie.
I'm a Debbie upper. So Matthew does tell Brandon that Lauren lied to them about her information from her trek. And so Matthew wants Lauren to be the vote. And we didn't really see this, but Lauren didn't really see, or Brandon didn't really see into that. But Brandon and Matthew did kind of make a bond and said, like, you know, we're working together. We went through this experience together, these 4 hours. Like, I'm working with you. So we know that they have some sort of connection to each other from that experience. But we also learned that Maddy doesn't trust Brandon. And I think it's because Brandon didn't trust her with that information, with the key. That just probably weirded her out, that he didn't want to play the game with her. So if you don't want to play with her, then she's kind of assessing that he's kind of against her.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not open, or if you don't say yes to something and we've discussed the possibility of it, then we're not down. We're not playing on the same team.
Not at all. Brutal. So over at Tribal, we do learn that it's Brandon's idol, but Brandon's kind of like, you know, like, I found this in front of everybody. Like, he doesn't really want it to be like his idol. Like, but he had to have it because he's the one that opened the cage and he found the key. So there's a lot of discussion about what happened with this tribal council. And it all begins when Jeff asked if anybody wants to play any advantages. So at this point, Jamie Lynn is playing her shot in the dark. So I guess they all went to vote and she played her shot in the dark. That's what he asked them after that, right?
No, before the vote, she said, and just so everyone knows, if like we're all voting the same way, my vote's not going to matter. I'm going to be playing the shot in the dark tonight. And
I was like, why is this girl playing the shot in the dark right now? Like,
I originally thought that she didn't want to choose a side, right? So she thought, like, instead of like doing that in general, instead of choosing a side, I'm not going to choose. So I'm not going to have a vote tonight. I'll throw my shot in the dark. Little did she know she needed that.
So everybody goes to vote. Lauren does choose to bank her vote, as we expected. And we also learned that Matthew's now going to play his shot in the dark. Like, wait, what?
And I'm assuming the same for Matthew. He didn't want to choose.
I think Matthew didn't want to choose.
Yeah, fair.
But Jamie, from what we saw, I think that it just looked like it came out of nowhere. Like I was just like, you haven't even been in any conversations. Like, are you that scared that it's you? Like, I thought it was just really wild. So everything happens with the shot in the dark. So we're getting the reveal of the shot in the dark. They both give their little scrolls up to Jeff, and Jeff does decide to read Matthew's first. And so Matthew is not safe. And then Jamie is safe.
Yeah. First time
ever. And I was like, okay, you're safe. Cool. But like, did it even matter? I don't know. So now Brandon decides to use his idol, which I would like, if people are saying that they don't have votes and one person's safe, shot in the dark, no vote. Like, I would be like, okay, I should use this idol right now because it just could fall back on me.
Yep.
Just because I don't have the numbers anymore. I don't know where the numbers are going to be going necessarily. So he uses his idol. And so Jeff reads out the papers, and there are 2 votes for Brandon that doesn't count. And we get to reveal to see who Brandon voted for here in this situation.
Yeah.
Brandon voted for Maddy, and Maddy, with 1 vote, is the first person out of the game.
What a first tribal council, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wish that I knew what was going on and I understood the gameplay, because it was just messy for no reason from what I could see. Now, I watched some after press. I didn't listen to Jeff's podcast. Did you listen to it?
No.
I didn't. I forgot. But what Maddy had said, I think it was on Robin's podcast, was that Jamie should be worried because she was going to be copying some votes, but she had gotten everybody to vote for Brandon. And that's probably why Matthew played his shot in the dark, because he did not want to vote for Brandon.
Yep.
But he did tell Brandon that Maddy was going to vote for him, and that she wanted Maddy out, so to play his idol. So that's why he needed to play his idol. And then he switched his vote from Jamie Lynn to Maddy. So it was Matthew that steered Brandon in that right direction, apparently. But it was because Maddy did tell Matthew about the plan, thinking that he wouldn't necessarily tell Brandon. So she was playing hard, which would have been fun if she could get into the game a little bit more quick, like for longer.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest issue here was that nobody had any votes, so she didn't really have any power to make these big moves. Like, she went out on one vote.
Yeah, and a tribe of 6. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, three people didn't vote. 3 and 3 did. And
So
2 of them
Kane
didn't
was
count.
the other vote for Brandon. So I will be interested to see how this falls out.
Yeah.
If Brandon is able to, or if Kane's able to make some amends with Brandon. Because like, yeah, like, well, so you're trying to blindside me? Like, that's a dick move. Like,
100%.
okay. And I'm still here. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm just curious if he's going to be able to bounce back or not. I don't know, but it was definitely an interesting tribal council. I wish that people had their votes so I could see gameplay.
Yeah.
But you know, and I would say also a little bit more transparent as to what happened. Like, I don't need the shock factor. I want to see Maddy saying this to somebody and then being wondering, like, okay, is Matthew going to say something to Brandon?
Yeah.
And they maybe don't show that conversation, but I would like to see Maddy making the vote Brandon, and then, you know, or then Brandon thinking the vote's Jaime Lynn. Like, I want to see that. You don't have
100%.
to show me that Maddy tells Matthew that's not the real vote. Fine. But like, I want to see all the people that played stuff, why they felt like they were in danger.
Yeah, I really want to see 6 tribal council votes tomorrow. But we might only see 5. We might only see 4.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll soon find out.
I'm interested to see how the season's going to go. I definitely like it so far. I think I like all the characters a lot. I'm interested in the showmance. I want to see how well Danny's going to do. So yeah, I think it started off on a good note. So far so good, and hopefully we'll be doing a couple more live watch parties with either Rob as a podcast and or Bryson One Presents in the future.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll hopefully have a couple other live events to go to for this season, which is also kind of awesome.
Definitely awesome.
You're gonna come?
You better believe it.
You better believe it. Well, what do you have going
baby.
on, Jojo? Anything you want to share with the people?
What do I want to share?
Are you gonna do your bald reveal Speedo show?
Oh yes, maybe one day, maybe season 46. Do you know what I'm most excited about this week? I have to say, Thursday evening, I have tickets. Scream 6 is premiering. I don't know if there's any Scream fans out there. Huge Scream fan on this side. Cannot
Even
wait.
without Nev Campbell?
You know what? Even without Nev, because now I don't have to worry about her. I know she's safe. I know she is not in New York City. She is not being attacked by Ghostface. That gives me a sign of, like, I'm relieved. She's fine. Ghostface isn't coming for her this time. No worries.
Okay.
I'm more worried about Courtney Cox.
Fair. And her bangs, or like her hair.
Yeah, they're all grown back. Luscious.
Well, enjoy the
premiere,
or the, I guess not premiere, but the watching, the viewing of Scream 6. I don't know if I've seen 4 or 5, but
you haven't seen, really?
I feel like I've only seen actually maybe 1 and 2. I don't know.
Oh, 3 is great too.
I don't remember which. I don't know which one's which. I've seen the first one, obviously. The second one, I think I've seen. Which one's with the Wayans brothers?
They did Scary Movie. So they did like the parody.
Is that the one where the guy's like, no, the other hand? Is that the parody or is that Scream?
Oh, the other hand. No, that's the parody. Okay. Yeah, that's the parody. The second one's in college. The third one's in Hollywood. The fourth one's like kind of a requel.
I don't know. Which one had Jamie Kennedy in it? That's the first one.
The first one. And he came back for the second one too.
I've seen the second one, I think. I feel like I've seen David Arquette in like that sheriff's outfit.
Yeah, he was a sheriff in the first one. Second one, he's like all Oh, I've got some nerve damage.
Okay, maybe I don't know. So like a decade ago.
Yeah, you need to rewatch. We need a marathon.
Okay, fine. We'll make that happen. But what you guys could make happen, which would be quite amazing, is for you to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on social media. All of our links are in our description box below. We're going to post all of our interactions from our event from last week soon. We're, as much as we were great with Instagram and social media that night, our own social media, not so great at personally. But we would love for you to be involved in our journey and our stories here. So come and hang out with us. Like this video and let us know who you want to go home next. Like, who are you maybe not vibing with the most? Or who do you think is going to potentially go home next because you think that their tribe is not going to be able to work well together and someone's going to go home? So who do you think might go home? Let us know in the comments and we'll continue this conversation later. Any final thoughts, Jojo?
Can't wait for tomorrow.
Ooh, episode 2. Ciao, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.